Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. So for those who are new to the channel, I'm ultimately Film Guru. The reason I started this channel is ultimately to have my say about particular movies and TV shows, and as well as doing other videos related to film content, and hence why I'm doing these videos now. Today I'm reviewing Cruella. This was directed by Craig Gillespie and is based on the book 101 Dalmatians, and it stars Emma Stone, Emma Thompson, Mark Strong, Paul Walter Hauser, and a variety of others. The film focuses on Estelle, who ultimately becomes Cruella. She's a young and clever gifted grifter who is determined to make a name for herself in the fashion world. She soon meets a pair of thieves who appreciate her appetite for mischief, and together they build a life for themselves on the streets of London. However, when Estelle befriends fashion legend Baroness von Helm, she embraces her wicked side to become the revengeful Cruella. I was really impressed with this film. I really liked it. I didn't expect to, but I thought it was really, really well done. I like the story. I like we have this sort of origin story of Cruella de Vil that we don't really know a lot about, where she came from and what caused her to become the person she becomes in the movie in previous years. This was a great way into that particular character. I like it sort of starts when she's a kid and we learn bits about her and we know her name's Estelle, but she obviously has this other alter ego that she calls Cruella. This comes out when she does something wrong and does something bad, and her mother keeps trying to get her to be good, and she tries so hard, but she just keeps falling back into old habits, I guess you could say. And it looks at how after a tragedy she finds herself on the streets of London and she befriends these two kids and they start working together and ultimately form this unique sort of family, and I really like that aspect to it. I think it's beautifully shot. I love the production design, the clothing, I love the era it's set in, the 60s and 70s. I really love the use of music. The music's fantastic throughout the film. The choices of music they put in particular scenes, the covers of these songs that they use is really, really great. The costumes are just fantastic, especially as we see Estelle become Cruella and the costume change in that and how she evolves as a character and her look as well. I really liked that as well. I thought it had a lot of humour in it, but not over the top ridiculous humour that sometimes you see in these sort of live action Disney films. I thought it had a lot of heart. I like they sort of made Cruella this sort of punkish sort of character, you know, in the clothing she wears and the use of colours when she's on screen, and just the way she's dressed is just really fascinating to watch. This is a very visual film. There's a lot of great visuals in it, and it sort of sets up a really interesting character, an interesting era. I think all the acting here is really, really good. Everybody, even down to the smallest character, has a great moments within the film. Mark Strong's interesting to watch in this. I haven't seen him in anything for a while. And he's kind of an interesting actor, but his choices are always sort of smaller roles, and I'd like to see him in something a bit bigger. But I think the three real standouts here for me in this film is Paul Walter Hauser as H. He's really great, very funny. He's a unique actor, and he adds another colourful and quirky character to his ever-growing catalogue. But there's something really great about him here. He sort of steals a lot of scenes he's in. He's humorous without meaning to be, and he adds a lot of sort of colour and interesting choices as this particular character in this film. And I think he does a fantastic job, and he's really fun to watch. Emma Thompson is fantastic, absolutely brilliant here. She's so great as this Baroness character. She sort of conveys so much of her skill of playing characters like this. The character is very self-absorbed and self-centered and thinks she's the most important person in the world. And the way that Emma Thompson conveys that is really fun to watch. I love her costumes, I love her attitude, I love the sort of dry wit and humour that she puts into the character. And she's just really great to watch, and it's sort of a villainess sort of character, but she's really great. But I think by far my favourite character and the real standout here is Emma Stone as Cruella, or Estelle and Cruella. She's just so great here. Fantastic to watch. I think this sort of shows the skill that Emma Stone really has as a performer. And I enjoyed this performance much more than probably her performance in La La Land, even though that was really great and she does a great job there. This allowed her to be a bit more free. She's playing a larger-than-life character. She has moments to be funny, but also dramatic and sort of a bit crazy and wacky, and she adds a quirkiness to this Estelle and Cruella in such a great way. And she's just perfect in this sort of role. And it allows her to expose who she is as an actor to a much wider audience. And I really loved that. And I thought she was so fantastic to watch. A brilliant performance. And she just puts so much energy into this, and the way Emma Stone looks and the look that the Cruella character has. She ultimately just suits his character so well, and I really want to see her play more and more of these characters. And she's sort of a tragic figure in a way, but she also is able to redeem herself in the film, and I like that. And to me, it's a near perfect film in many ways. The only thing I didn't overly like about this film was the visual effects. And ultimately there's animals in the film. There's the Dalmatians, of course, but there's also a couple of other dogs as well. But they digitize the dogs. They digitally create these animals, and it just takes away from it in my opinion. I found it quite distracting to see these digital animals rather than using real ones. Final thoughts. In the end, I guess it's really about one person accepting who they are and moving forward with that, and not trying to hide that particular person. And it's about someone coming to terms with a particular thing that's happened in their life and how they go about rectifying that with themselves. I'm going to give Cruella 4.5 out of 5. One of the best films this year. It's on my top 10. So I just really loved my experience with this film. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please subscribe down the bottom. Follow me on Facebook and Letterboxd. And otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.